Hi my lovelies, and welcome back to the channel. I don't think I've ever been on here with my hair up before, but I did not have time to do my hair before work today, so this is how you've got me. So yeah, no makeup on and hair up. In actual fact, let me grab my bag. Have I got a lipstick in here? I bet I haven't. No, I haven't. No, I haven't. That is annoying. That's annoying. Should have checked that out before I came on it. Why do I keep doing that with my t-shirt? I don't know. But anyway, welcome back, my loves. And firstly, I would like to say that I'm sorry I was not around on Wednesday. And I'm saying that as if anybody actually cares, which I'm sure you don't. But, you know, when you kind of like feel you're committed, I've got into this routine of Sunday and Wednesday uploads. And any regulars will know by now that Wednesdays is usually something to do with food shopping or cooking certain things. And to be honest, I had no content for a video in that vein because the shopping has been, well, last week I did no shopping at all. So there was no shopping to show on Wednesday for that last week. And I hadn't really cooked anything. I'd been living on batch cooked meals, really, making space in the freezer, and a jacket potato one night. I think Saturday I worked all day, and it was quite a hot day on Saturday. And what I've noticed over the last couple of years is I tend to find that my feet and ankles swell when it's hot, and that includes here in the UK. I don't think it would if I wasn't sitting like I'm sitting now, but at the other end of the table, 9 to 5 on a hot day. It's not doing me any good. I could do with something under the table, maybe to have my feet elevated a little bit to stop that. So I finished work on Saturday and my feet and ankles, the skin felt like it was going to split open. And I just thought, you know what? I'm not standing in the kitchen and cooking. And I ended up having cheese and crackers. So there you go. So there was nothing really to show on Wednesday. So I do apologise for that. I have had some requests for videos that I will definitely get done for you guys, but I'm not sure everybody's going to be interested. So I'm going to call those like bonus videos that I will probably do on a Friday. So in addition to the Wednesday and Sunday videos, if I've got any extra content, then I like to put one out on a Friday morning if possible. And the things that I have been asked to cover, Vinted, selling on Vinted. So I have been back selling on Vinted, and I have sold a couple of items over the past week, which I'm really happy about. I've got to pull my finger out and try and get a couple of things uploaded every day if possible. So I was asked about Vinted for somebody who's never used it before. So I will definitely do that. I've also had a request for an empties video. So I will also do that. But what I must say with the empties, all of the empties that I've got, which are sitting here on the table next to me right now, they are all skincare and body care products. I've got no household empties as yet. But if that's something that people would like to see on a regular basis, you know, once a month, once every couple of months, you know, I keep all my empties for the boot scan to recycle. So it's absolutely no problem to do a video on those. And when I do have any household empties, I can include those as well. But for this first video at the moment, there are no household empties. And the other thing that I was asked to do, which I think I will do on Wednesday, because where there's just been a couple of really, really small shops, I was asked by somebody about sort of going through the cupboards and the freezer and preparing a shopping list and a meal plan, purely because they said they're quite a visual learner, and they sort of wanted to know how I did that. I think that would probably be more fitting with the way that I used to shop, which was one large shop at the beginning of the month or just after payday. It's not the beginning of the month, but when I get paid, I used to do one fairly big shop online, and then it would just be bread, milk, potatoes, vegetables, and yellow sticker bargains throughout the rest of the month. And I definitely think that that is the way that has worked best for me. That is the way that I did it for 2 years. It's only been since January that I started to switch things up a little bit. And I think I have come to the conclusion that I am going to go back to that way of doing my shopping. Because I always had a master list that I worked off of. I could check it as I was going through the cupboards and the freezer. And I kind of always felt like I never run out of anything. Whereas the way I've been shopping, I'm just constantly running out of things. And I don't always remember to write them down. I think the last time I had fish or fish cakes, I didn't have any tartar sauce. And for the first 2 years of living here, that wouldn't have happened. So I do find that I'm running out of things. And I know it's everybody's different, and how they do things is completely different, and everybody has to do what suits them. But I think I'm going to go back to that. Also, the online shop means that I can do it through Top Cashback. So not only would I get cashback on doing the shopping, but I would also get cashback if I were to purchase a gift card to actually purchase the shopping. So talking of that, actually I realise I have not done my introduction. All I will say is, if you're new here, maybe go back to a couple of videos ago if you want to hear a little bit more about me and why the channel started, because I have totally missed that out, which I do apologise. But yet, talking about gift cards, Ali with an E over at Frugal Granny, she was talking about gift cards, and she was saying that the percentage that she was getting back on her gift cards had gone down for whatever reason. I can't remember exactly what she said the reason was now. It might have been to do with interest rates or something, and banks. But anyway, so just to give you the heads up on that, that not only can you buy gift cards from Top Cashback under the Top Gift Card section, and there is all the information or the link to join Top Cashback if you're not already a member in my description box below. It always sits there. So if ever you're thinking of joining to get cashback on any online purchases, then sign up for that, because why wouldn't you? It's free money. And but what I wanted to add also is there is an app called Jam Donut, and they tend to do higher cashback rates for gift cards than anywhere else. So Jam Donut is definitely worth a look. At the time that I'm filming this, and I did write it in one of the comments on Ali Frugal Granny's video, Morrison's is pumped up to 5%, and Sainsbury's, I think, was it Sainsbury's or Tesco's I looked at? It was Tesco's. I think it was 4.1% on a Tesco's gift card to then go and purchase your shopping with. So definitely worth checking out Jam Donut. So I will put a link to that also in the description box below if you want to take a look. Lots of people on Instagram use Jam Donut and recommend it, and some influencers on, I hate that word, influencer, but some budgeting and frugal accounts on Instagram. They work quite closely with Jam Donut, and they very often have competitions. They go live on their Instagram feed when they are at Jam Donut headquarters, which is always quite interesting. So yeah, that's definitely one to check out. So right, let's cross that off of the list. Let's cross that off of the list, what people have asked for. Yep, that one as well. I'd had a couple of people ask me about a money button on my YouTube. And as soon as somebody mentioned it in the comments, I knew exactly what they meant, because I'd seen it on someone else's, but I didn't know where I'd seen it, but I knew what they meant. I didn't know anything about it, but I've done a bit of research just yesterday, and it's in YouTube Studio. Once you have become a YouTube partner, you are able to add that. And that enables any viewers or subscribers, I think, to click on that and possibly make a donation to the YouTuber whose video they are watching or whose channel they are subscribed to. So that is now there. And I wouldn't have looked into it had it not have been mentioned to me by somebody in the comments. So thank you for that. I'm not kind of 100% sure how I feel about it, but it is there now. And it may just sit there doing nothing, but it's there. So yeah, that's that one. And then while we're talking about money and YouTube, let's talk about monetization, because I have an update. According to YouTube Studio, I've got the amount now. So this will be my first earnings after getting monetized in mid-April. June will be my first money I've had come in. So I'm guessing that's going to be from the second half of April, because I hit the 1,000 subscribers before I hit the 4,000 watch hours. So I'm assuming this is for May and a couple of weeks of April. And the amount it says is £171.54 minus tax. So I'm assuming it will be less than that. But hey, I literally cannot believe it. I mean, to even be over £100 is absolutely mind-blowing, and I know that's a drop in the ocean to what some channels are earning, and you know, some ladies are doing so well, so well, and I am so pleased for them, because as you may know, if you've watched previous videos from me, I always try to comment on people's videos. I try to watch them. I'm really behind actually this week. I think just life and work sometimes takes over, doesn't it, and free time. I've had a lot going on. So yeah, I'm a bit behind. I've got a lot of catching up to do, but I do always try and comment and catch up when I can, because hey, you know, we're kind of all in this together. We're all on a journey for a different reason, whether that is, you know, somebody like me who finds themselves on a lower income, living on a lot less money than they used to live on before, for whatever reason that may be, or it could be somebody who's choosing to be frugal for whatever reason. They may be saving for something, or whatever it is. You know, I think everybody's got something to offer within this community, and I absolutely love it. I love being here, talking to you guys. I'm so glad that I did it, and I love listening to other people, and I find it fascinating how we all do things differently. We cook differently, we budget differently, we do our food shopping differently, we eat, you know, so many different things, and one of us might eat meals that the other one would never eat if they were put in front of them. It's just fascinating to me, that the whole thing. So I absolutely love it. But yeah, obviously, guys, what can I say other than a massive thank you for getting me monetized in the first place. This was just something I really did for me. I never expected anybody to want to sit and listen to my drivel about my circumstances and my money situation and how I was trying to live month to month. But I really appreciate that you do. And talking of that, one thing that was a thank you was my skincare giveaway. And I have, just before I jumped on to start recording this video, I have selected the winner using a random generator, and I have filmed it. So I'm going to pop that in at the end. So if you entered that video, be sure to stay around, because who knows, you could be the winner. So yeah, that is crossed off the list. We've covered that. 171.54. Let's see what the figure is that arrives in my bank account, if it arrives in my bank account at all. Sorry, storage problems as usual, so I had to delete a load of photos to enable me to continue. So yeah, as I was saying, the getting set up to get paid through AdSense and linking the YouTube with the AdSense was not a particularly easy process. And the reason being, I had an email address already attached to my YouTube, which I've been on YouTube for years, but only, of course, watching other people. That was a really old email address that I don't use anymore. I don't know the logins for it. And when I tried to log into it, it had the house phone number attached to it from my previous property. Now, with my job, everything is done through Google, which is really annoying. So I have had to use my work email address. So I had to change my email address, and I just hope that it's all linked up okay. Until that money's in my bank account, I am not going to know or feel confident that everything has worked out okay. And it's like most of these things these days, it's all FAQs, and you can't speak to anybody for love nor money when you're trying to sort something out or to check some information. So yeah, we will keep everything crossed. And as I have said to you guys before, you know, going on, I'm sort of taking my lead on this from Tanya over at Living on a UK State Pension, in as much as I will be putting away 20% for tax and 15% for a charitable donation in one way, shape or form. So whether that is a donation to a charity, or whether that is going to the supermarket, filming it and putting stuff in the food bank, because I would like to do that as well, to help people in my local community. Because as much as, you know, life might be a struggle at times, and I worry about money quite a lot, at the end of the day, you know, from my yellow sticker bargains, I don't eat bad, and I am very, very conscious that there are people in all areas that literally don't have the money for food. I budget for food. Sometimes it's just because people aren't in control of finance. But of course, there are people that are in situations where it is completely out of their control, and they literally don't have the money to buy food for themselves or their children. And that pains me immensely. So whatever we decide to do, I did mention quite a while ago that I would happily be led by you guys. If anybody had any specific charities, somebody, I think the only one that got mentioned when I said about that before was the Tussle Trust, So I'm probably either going to do that one or a food bank shop as my first donation to charity. I looked up the Tussle Trust once it was mentioned, and it is kind of a food bank situation. Unfortunately, there isn't one in the area that I live in, which I do think is a shame, but there you go. You can donate via their website. So yeah, we will definitely be doing that, and we will definitely be doing something in my local area as well. So of course you guys have made that possible. And what I'm really excited about is to actually start having some savings, because as I've mentioned before, I don't have any savings whatsoever. I don't have an emergency fund, and I'm looking forward to being able to put some money aside to have things covered for when I might need them. And one of the biggest things I think for me, again, I've probably said it before because I can be a bit repetitive, when you're living in rented accommodation, you don't know what the future holds for you or how long you're going to be able to remain in your property for a number of reasons. And it could be because the landlord might decide he wants to sell the property. It could be because they want to put the rent up and you really can't afford it. And that would be, yeah, like something really horrible for me, because I'm so comfortable here. I like the location. I am 15 minutes walk from one of my daughters who had already moved to this area years ago when she bought a house with her now husband. And that's where they are settled with two of my grandchildren, my two grandsons. So they are 15-minute walk away. But of course, the trade-off there was moving away from the daughter who lived closest to me and my two eldest grandchildren, which are both girls. And then my middle daughter lives a couple of counties away. So yeah, it's a great location for me. I'm in walking distance, as you know, Aldi and the doctor's surgery in one direction and Sainsbury's in the other. So yeah, it's really handy for that. I love the house. I know there are some rooms that, you know, really could do with updating. They are quite old fashioned, but there are so many benefits from living in this house. And although the garden is no bigger than a postage stamp, it's a garden. I've got a conservatory. How blessed am I? When I moved in here, all the white goods, including a tumble dryer, were already installed in the kitchen. So I didn't have to pay out for white goods. I mean, what an absolute bonus that was. Last year, the dishwasher broke. The landlord paid for the repair of that. But when the washing machine broke, it wasn't that long ago, but I don't think I mentioned it actually. He didn't even bother sorting out a repair for it. He just bought a new one. Which was, yeah, really good. I was a couple of weeks without a washing machine, but yeah, I was just sort of washing things by hand, and bigger things. There is a laundrette down by Aldi, so things like bedding and towels I just took down to the laundrette. Obviously it was money I didn't want to have to spend, but I did. If it was something that I really needed, I did do it. So yeah, that was that. That is that. So when you think about the fact that if I had to move in future, I would have my deposit back that I paid on this house, but that would not be enough to go and rent somewhere else, because you would need your deposit, you would need a month's rent in advance. So I would feel happier if I had that kind of money sitting there to cover me for any eventuality. I hope those things don't happen. I hope my landlord doesn't want to sell the house. I hope my rent doesn't increase, but the chances are it will. And who knows, going forward, some YouTube income could actually allow me to stay here. yeah, I'd be pained to move. I do get the house a little bit cheaper because it is through somebody I know. And honestly, for what I pay for this, I would be probably living in a flat for the same money without a garden. So, but we do what we have to do. And, you know I'm blessed to have what I've got, and I do appreciate that. And that is through, one of my close friends, because it's her dad that owns the property. So I know that I'm lucky to have it. Anyway, just a little budgeting update before I insert the clip of the competition. I mentioned before how I was panicking about money. I had lots of things to pay out for this month, and how when I sat and wrote it all out, there was a big sigh of relief. Writing it down, getting to grips with things, puts it all into perspective, and then you can deal with it. And luckily for me, I mentioned before, yes, again, I'm so repetitive, about the fact that I had worked on Easter Monday, so I'd earned a bit of extra money there, which covered me for all of the things I've got going on in June. So I've got 4 birthdays, 2 of which are my daughters. Now, both of my daughters' presents have been bought. I've got 2 bags sitting on my dining table, ready for Sunday, because my daughter that lives away, she will be down on Sunday also. I've got one birthday on the 9th, one on the 18th. So they will probably both get their presents on Sunday because they're coming round in the morning. I am off, and let me reach and get them. And I thought these bags in Car Factory were super cute. Birthday queen, because my daughters are definitely my queens, and my son, of course, is my little prince, as you can imagine. So I really love those bags. I couldn't resist those. So yeah, got the presents, and I've been writing everything down as I've done it. So the upshot was the list of everything that I budgeted came to £222, and you guys know that usually I'll have 187 to live off of. So some people, I call it disposable income. Ali with an E over at Frugal Granny, she calls hers discretionary spending. So again, we've all got different terms for things, which again I find so interesting. So I worked out 222, and I had 234.87 as my disposable income or discretionary spending to live off of for the month of June. So that money would normally go into sinking funds, and I've really had to play around with the sinking funds this month because the amounts are much bigger than I would normally put in. So for example, I had a hair appointment at the very beginning of May. I've got one at the end of June. So therefore, I only had £30 towards my hair, which is 60. So yeah, £60 had to go for that sinking fund. The train fare to get to the hairdressers. Sometimes I get a lift with a friend. I did last time I went over, but in case I don't, I've got to budget for the train fare, which is something I've only just started to factor in transport costs when they are relevant. So far what I've done, and I've come in under budget on the bits, some of the bits that I've bought already. So my 2 daughters' birthday presents, I am under the budget that I set for those. I'm under by £5.60, so I'm really happy about that. Plus, I got £2.42 cashback via Top Cashback. That's the first time I've earned cashback in the last few months. So yeah, super pleased with that. And I also got free delivery because the items were bought from the same website. So that was great. So £5.60 up there. The other things that I have bought so far, I had to buy Altogether 4 birthday cards for the month of June, 1 anniversary card and 1 engagement card. So I budgeted £5, but I hadn't put down for gift bags. So Card Factory came in. I mean, obviously I go over this in my month end roundup, but I just wanted to give you a little bit of an update on it so far. So I budgeted £5, but I spent £6.83. So I was £1.83 over on Card Factory shop. But then I have saved £1.60 because I've already bought my train ticket for my trip to London, and that came in under budget. And I've also accounted for 2 bus fares, which are £1.75 when you tap your card and get on a bus. So that's £3.50. So I budgeted 30 and I'm £1.60 up there as well. So I don't think there's much else I can trim back on, but I have allocated money for my hair, for my train fare to the hairdressers, and my lunch when we are at the theatre in London. That is all budgeted for. So if I can come in under budget on anything else, who knows? I might have a tenner left. I'll be well happy with that. So yeah, so that's where we're at the moment with everything. But I'm feeling really happy now that I have got those presents bought, I've got all my cards bought, and I kind of really know where I'm at now for the rest of the month. So yeah, very, very pleased with that. So that's my little mini budget update so far. I've done a couple of small shops this week, which you will see on Wednesday. And I've got £4.10 left. And that's got to last over a week. Loads of dinners. Dinners aren't the issue. I bought 2 milks the other day to just kind of like top up and see me through. I've probably got a week's worth of potatoes. So I'm really, really going to try and see if I can stay within budget. I haven't done that for months. I would be really, really happy if I could. But I mean, I don't mind if I go a little bit over, but you know, it's got to come from somewhere, and it usually comes from sinking funds, and they are all accounted for. So we haven't really got any leeway there. Otherwise, it's going to have to come out of the holiday one, and we don't want to do that. But we shall see. We shall see how we get on. So that's pretty much it from me. So I'll see you on Wednesday, guys, with something to do with the shopping that I've done this week, looking through the cupboards, you know, hatching a plan, writing a shopping list. We do that Wednesday. Then I'll try and get one of those bonus videos done for Friday, which will either be Vinted or... what was the other thing? I've forgotten. Oh, I know I've put a line for everything. The empties video. That's right. Okay. One of those maybe Friday. So thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful Sunday. Yeah, so I'm talking ahead of time, but you may well be watching this when I'm cooking in preparation for my kids to come round on Sunday morning for a breakfast kind of like brunch thing, using the rolls that I have got that you'll see again. My daughter let me take a load home from the barbecue on Sunday, and I've picked up a few other bits as well outside of the shopping budget, so that I can do a sort of a breakfasty, brunchy type thing. And I've got loads of sausages, which have all been yellow stickered. So I'm going to do them a little bit of a breakfasty brunch, late morning type thing. That's the plan anyway. So I'll be sure to film that anyway, and I'll put that on Wednesday's video as well. And we can go through entertaining on a budget. That's something I would definitely like to do, a series for summer, like picnic on a budget, or yeah, I would say barbecue on a budget, but I haven't got a barbecue. My garden's not really big enough to entertain any people. But anything is possible. You keep looking for those yellow sticker bargains. Start now. Start building up some stuff if you've got room in the freezer for a barbecue. If you're planning on hosting one this summer. So I shall insert the video clip now for the skincare competition. Congratulations to the winner. And I do say in there what to do and how I'm going to get your address. So listen, and thank you for watching. Have a great Sunday, guys. Bye-bye for now. Bye. Hi, my love. So I'm just about to pick the giveaway winner for the skincare competition. I have pasted in... Oh, what's going on now? Set sweepscape conditions, number of people attending, number of minimum mentions, number of winners, 1. Yeah, just 1 winner. So let's find our winner. Congratulations, here are the winners. Who's won? Lorraine Bryce. You are the winner of the skincare competition. Lorraine, I'm going to put my email address in the comments. Once you've jotted it down, can you leave me a comment to let me know you've done it so that I can then remove my email address? Okay, and yeah, just drop me an email with your address and I will get that off to you one day next week. Thanks to everybody who entered for all your wonderful and kind comments. They are all appreciated, not just on that video, but on every single video. You really are amazing, all of you. Thank you so, so much.